Lee, I think you've got the latest information on this compliance program and how it's evolved, and I don't know how many Plugfests there have been now, quite a number. But
I believe it was just last week we completed our third Plugfest, and so Plugfest is members of AVnu Alliance with functioning technology are allowed to participate. We come together in a as it appears in a room. You plug things together and you exercise the standards, your implementations, and we feel there's a great value in doing that. Feedback we find we can provide to the standards organizations. It helps all of our member companies grow, improving solutions, road hardening things before it has to get in the end of customers' hands, and you're on a job site finding out that something doesn't work. So, Plugfests are very important. We've got another one. We've been doing them about every other month. So we've just scheduled our next Plugfest for October, and we're very excited about that. The compliance program in general, as alluded, is one of the key works of AVnu Alliance, and so as such, there are two groups within AVnu Alliance: the marketing work group and the technical work group. And the job of the technical work group, which is headed by Kevin Stanton from Intel, is to define a set of testability standards that can be sent to a compliance lab. So end product will be able to be plugged in and rammed through this battery of tests and assure that it is therefore compliant, and then could get an AVnu logo. And I think that's very unique because one of the benefits of AVB is that there are multi-vendors providing solutions for that. Without a compliance program, there's a question in a user's mind as to whether one vendor's solution is as good as the other, we want to avoid that. So that's really the goal of compliance testing.
Okay, and in my notes here, which I'm hastily rereading, obviously, Lee says there are pre-compliance interoperability demos, which is a phrase I never saw myself having to use, but since it's here, maybe you could talk a little bit about those as well.
Well, I'll hand it off. I'll hand it off to David because it's at his booth. But before doing that, I mean, just to talk a little bit about the terminology. It may seem semantic, but we're very careful about using the word compliance because it means something to us, and that it will mean that it has been through a rigorous test and that it carries a logo that indicates so. So the particular demo that's going on here has not been logoed, but it involves all of the AVB standards to date, and I think the proof is in the pudding of seeing those live demos. Hearing. Yeah. Okay, see it there and hear it with your eyes. So, David?
A bit like the one next door.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but we can hear it.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. I think the key thing about pre-standards and that whole thing is what we would like to have happen is that when people in the pro audio or pro video community buy a piece of equipment that says it is AVB compatible or has the AVnu logo on it, for example, that means they're buying something knowing it will definitely work when they plug it into another piece of equipment that says the same thing. And until we've all gone through all of the testing and until we've gone through the standardization, we won't be able to make that promise to the community. But that doesn't mean we still can't start to show you what it is we're doing and show you the types of capabilities that it has in a real tangible way, so that it's not just discussions or panels or vaporware or it allays people's concerns that it might not really exist. And so that's what we're doing on the Avid booth at this show. We decided, even though we haven't got a product that we're announcing, we decided, since we're working with AVB technology and since actually 4 of the AVnu members are working together to make this demo occur, we may as well just show that working to people without necessarily saying, hey, here's an AVB or an AVnu product. So you're welcome to come to the stand. It's at booth H31, and what you'll see if you get there is basically a card that fits into our venue stage rack system. And inside that card is technology that LabX provided to us to help us make the venue capable of transmitting audio. It comes out on a Cat5 cable, transmitting AVB over that Cat5 cable into a Marvell switch, and then it comes out of that Marvell switch, which is AVB compatible as well, of course, and into a crown amplifier that was kindly supplied by the folks at Harman. And so, 4 member companies collaborated just to make that tangible demonstration happen, so that people can see that this is a reality rather than just a technology that we're talking about. To me, that's very significant. 4 member companies that, in other parts of their businesses would consider themselves competitors, were happy to collaborate to make something like this happen. I mean, it's really a groundbreaking moment for the audio business when companies are willing to just put aside that stuff and go, we need to make this happen, we need to make this work. And actually the collaboration was fantastic. The technical people from all sides got together to figure out the issues about making the demo happen, and in the end it was really actually fairly straightforward. So a very encouraging experience for all of us, certainly a very encouraging experience for us at Avid, because it was the first thing that we'd done that was kind of a tangible piece of technology design, and we're feeling positive about our ability to enable the rest of our product line with AVB as a result.
Yeah, it was a very exciting time getting it put together. At Infocom, we demonstrated a LabX board, I guess kind of similar to the board that's in the console. Again, the same Marvell switch to the Crown amp. But to have David and Sheldon call and say, we're interested in actually repeating that demonstration, but putting the LabX card into the Avid console. I mean, that's just, it's a completely new event in this industry. And so it was great to, watch the engineers back at Harman make sure that it was going to work and everything together, and send the Crown amp, have conference calls, getting these teams together. It reminded me kind of the MIDI days when, as you mentioned earlier, but from a business perspective, reminded me of the MIDI days when the synthesizer manufacturers put aside that competition and said, right, we need to do something for the benefit of the customers. And so it's a tremendous time to be involved in this project.
Jerry, I was actually going to come to you next.
Oh no!
There was no need to, but by all means, say what you want to say, and I might come back to you again afterwards to see how it goes. Yeah.
Well, little story. We had a plug fest at Meyer Sound, and there happened to be a number of regional and international sales guys in the facility when we had the plug fest, and we didn't tell them. We didn't think it was a deal to tell them. And I remember Helen Meyer's phone ringing off the hook, knowing that I just saw some Harman people come in our building. I just saw some people from Digi come in our building. And she kind of laughed and said, we're doing a plug fest. But they were like, what is going on here? Why are these people being invited? And we had to explain to them that this is much bigger than individual companies. This is a global standard. But it was quite humorous for our sales guys to see like competitors walking in the building freely and waving, and we're serving them coffee, and they were panicking that there was a radical shift in the industry.
And I think I'm right in saying, Adam, you alluded to to what took place at Infocom in June, and I think I'm right in saying that there's going to be an AVnu Alliance Pavilion of a similar design or similar nature at ISE in February, where perhaps I would imagine, in fact, the demos will be even more sophisticated and hopefully involve more products from more companies.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I think